welcome back to Pachera Talks. My name is Arun and I work with Novantech. I'm Solution Architect, MCT. This is my channel and these are my views. And today we are going to talk about hybrid identity. This is the next topic in this series, SC900. So, what is hybrid identity? As the name says, it's gonna be hybrid. So how come it's hybrid? So let me take you to the old days. What used to happen when it was no cloud? There was always a physical infrastructure that everyone has. They're maintaining their own data center. They are running their own Windows Active Directory. So let's suppose this is your on premises and this is your Windows Active Directory. This is your on prem infra and this is your Windows AD, or you have VMs here, which is a part of domain, right? Now what happened? Cloud born. When cloud born, let me create the cloud here. When cloud born, or let me make it better. So this is cloud, or let's call it Azure. When Azure born, along with Azure, we got something called identity and access management, which is Entra. All right. So what happened now? Now we have two things, and both has their own way of managing or maintaining their identities. Entra ID is also an IAM solution. This AD was also the IAM solution. Any other cloud service, they have their own IAM solutions, and it is very much needed. The organizations who are getting into the cloud only, like all those entrepreneurs and new companies, they have one business unit into the cloud, which is like totally isolated and separated. That is absolutely fine because they have cloud identity or cloud only identity. But what about these folks? And the number of these folks are too much because everybody was running everything on premises under Windows AD, and now they are extending to the cloud and utilizing the cloud services, harness the cloud power, their benefits. So if they're managing these IDs here for the cloud and these IDs here for the cloud, who's going to suffer? This guy sitting here is going to suffer. And this is not a good thing, because if this guy suffers, it loses, because it has to remember all those IDs and password for this, and there are other SaaS platforms for those, right? There are other SaaS platforms as well that an organization needs to perform their day-to-day activities, right? So there are multiple SaaS platforms as well. So this guy, the user, is going to suffer, and it's human. If he's suffering, what will happen? It might lose the ID and password. The productivity will down. There are a lot of things, a lot of issues can come up, and this is not a good setup when you have multiple ways to manage the identities for multiple things. It's goof up. We don't want that. What we want centralized management. We want the total governance in place. So what happened? There is something called sync happened from this AD to this AD. And what is that sync? Sync of your identities. AD sync. It's with the help of AD Connect or Cloud Sync, right? What are these? These are simple agents which sends the data from this AD to this AD. Because this is 900, I'm not going into the deep. We have already created a deep dive videos. But for the sake of this one, I'm just describing the concepts. So we can sync these identities, which is sitting here, to this Entra ID. So that when this guy tried to access anything, this guy always need to use the single ID and password, which is known as single sign-on. So why do we need hybrid identity? because many organizations have existing investment in on-premises Active Directory for managing users, groups, and devices. Now, this business is adopting cloud or Azure in our case, and they want their users to not to go through a pain. Indirectly, they themselves go through the pain if users are not working properly, right? And it would be a security risk. So what they want user to remember only single ID and password, single sign-on. They want to give their users single sign-on experience without maintaining separate accounts for separate applications. That's a part of the job, right? Single sign-on. So what is hybrid identity providing? It's providing this bridge that extends on-prem identity to the cloud while maintaining control, security, and management consistency. So this is what the hybrid identity is. That's why hybrid, right? Now, there are multiple ways to do this sync. That is, again, this is not a part of this particular topic, but for the sake of information, I just would like to give here. There is password hash synchronization, there is pass through, and there is ADFS. These are different ways we can establish this kind of sync, the hybrid identities, you can say. In password hash, we sync the passwords of identities as well. It is not actually the password, it's the hash of the password that sync. So Entra ID can take care of everything. Even if this is down, Entra ID can take care of a lot of things. And simultaneously, all the wonderful features that Entra ID provides from security perspective can be utilized if Entra ID has that those passwords. It's not like open, it's hash of the hash. Now in pass through, there is an agent which will go because password is still there in on-prem, not in Azure. So whenever login happens here, it will go, the agent will go, check password, and then come back, right? And ADFS is again real-time authentication through on-prem federation. In ADFS, we need additional infrastructure, but it provides full control and rich policies, right? So that's the hybrid identity for you guys. I hope the concept will be clear, and thank you for watching. You guys have